placing a ward and traversing their way to the opposite side of the jungle. They're going to break the smoke here from Faith and Kaka.
Yep, and they know they do not want to run uphill. He has to be careful. If they have a ward downhill, they can just lift him up, but Kaka's going to run uphill.
Oh, man, Kaka gets a triple burrow strike. The Arctic Burr coming into effect as well. Kaka looks like he's in the wrong place at the wrong time. A little bit too ambitious for him as Vici Gaming take first blood.
Yeah, that was a very interesting. He got that triple stun, but he just ran uphill blind, placed the ward down, and they might have actually seen that.
Yeah, I think so. We'll see if that gets up, ends up getting dewarded at some point this game.
Yeah,
KP's going to be here in the top lane for Newbee.
I think this is the biggest patch where we've seen first bloods before the runes, even more so than normal.
Gold and sweet.
Yeah, I think so as well. All right, looks like we are officially underway. Good to go. As SC, which we're going to be calling him SC for the rest of this series, will be mid against Ori on the Necrophos, the newly changed Necrophos, kind of in some ways nerfed with the actual values of the heal, but at the same time a lot was changed with the regeneration values because of well, the entirety of the patch, if you will.
Yep.
So not exactly sure how that hero has changed in terms of power level. But
yep, we might find out a little bit here, especially against the Leshrac. Leshrac doesn't have that much burst damage early, right? Like, he stuns, he farms nicely, but damage is pretty low on Lightning as well as stun early game. So he and Necro should be fine just farming. Top lane, you always assume, like, oh, Tidehunter is great versus any melee hero. The only problem is Ursa has an ability which just keeps stacking up damage, and, man, Fury swipes last forever, 20 seconds.
Yeah, that's pretty insane, actually.
And Young 11 just skilled up Gush to go for this kill, and that might have been a mistake.
The telekinesis is there, though. Keeps him in place. He's going to TP out to safety, so 1v3, the bear will be fine for now.
Yeah.
TP
Wow.
back to base.
He had a close shot there of actually killing that Tidehunter in a 3v1 lane.
Is he just going to go bottom? It looks like that's where he's going, actually. So switching up the lanes here a bit, as Winter Wyvern did go top for Vici Gaming.
Yeah, and Paparazzi himself also had to go back to base. He is level 1.5. He has got absolutely demolished bottom, and KP getting close to level 3 on the safe lane Magnus.
Yeah, but with that, I believe KP is just going to be TPing top lane, so he will be the traditional off lane again. And he should be fine in this lane.
Yeah, especially now that he's going to have level 2 Shockwave. Just going to be able to spam that out pretty easily.
It's so weird clicking on Paparazzi right now. It's weird seeing double-digit tangos are a normal thing because of the 5x2.
Yeah, it is. And man, just so many tangos. And Mugi going to be farming up now as Ursa bottom. Paparazzi just, he's going for bounty runes. Paparazzi just scooped up one bounty rune, going to go back bottom, and I don't know, Terrorblade Tidehunter lineup. That feels like you're fighting around 2 cooldowns, right? It almost feels a little too much in that regard. But if you win a fight with those cooldowns, I mean, Terrorblade can just tear your base up.
Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, when I look at a lineup like that, it's the exact same mindset that I have. But if you execute correctly, it could be pretty dirty later on in the game for sure. I mean, Curse for Fenrir, one of the most game-breaking abilities in the game. Not to say game twice, but, you know. One of those things where it scales better as the game goes on. If you're down, you could still win a fight if a well-placed curse comes into play.
That's true. Yeah, we see Paparazzi just getting bullied so hard by Mugi. He is 9-1 against a 6-2. If he ever goes up for that last hit, he just gets punished so bad. And look at Lan M and Fenrir just following around this Ursa from top lane all the way to bottom.
Indeed. And we're going to have some more TPs as Mugi will end up at top lane. We got a lot of changing of lanes, if you will, as Tidehunter now looks to be initiated on. The Burrow Strike was there, but not sure if they're going to be able to find this.
Young 11.
One tanky guy.
Yeah, that was a nice job going through the trees so the Magnus couldn't get behind him. So if he got skewered and just slowed even for 1 second, Mugi would have got up there, Earth-shocked him, and it would have been a free kill.
And I believe KP and company are going to try for another kill before KP ends up at the bottom lane. Young 11, that Kraken Shell coming into play yet again. Should be dead here with the Fury swipes. Going to be an eventual kill. He is super tanky. And with that, I believe KP and company will be happy with that exchange. But mid lane, we might have some engagement. Lan M.
Oh, pinged out.
Spotted out here.
They have that ward, yeah. They didn't counter it, even though I believe they saw it go down. Obviously not, or else they wouldn't be doing this. So this ward is paying dividends for the Radiant side. I don't even know what paying dividends means, but I know it's correctly used there.
You should ask Nahaz. I'm pretty sure he can tell you.
Oh, okay.
A very long-winded answer. But yeah,
I probably would learn.
SC playing very passive here in the mid lane. Now he knows that the enemies have all retreated. Ori, man, KP is just all over the place this game. He's been bottom, he's been mid, he's been top. And we have 4 heroes for Newbee.
This has been a common occurrence, hasn't it? You just see like 4 heroes randomly mid, usually with a kill, but I think they were seeing if SCC could set up that stun. Unfortunately, level 2 stun, that AoE is so small still. And we might have a battle of the 2v2 jungle.
Not a whole lot of mana on KP right now. There's the sleep onto Fenrir. See if they can actually set something up. Skewer is available. Kaka not going to be even close. He has only level 1 Burrow Strike right now as the telekinesis will stun the poor Bane, and that'll be that.
Yeah, I think Paparazzi loves this. He's like, man, no one's been bottom for a while. I'm just free farming the off lane 1v0.
Yeah, with the musical chairs that's been going on here for Newbee, back and forth and back again.
Yeah, he has full set of treads now. Like, he is pretty unkillable with Fenrir down bottom defending him now.
And that's not a hero you want to leave alone. Very, very scary in its own regard. What do you think about their wave clear this game against somebody like Terrorblade?
I mean, you have the Magnet. He doesn't really clear. Like, Shockwave isn't that good versus the illusions of Terrorblade once they're level 4.
If
but
you
then
get
you have
Ags.
We did see that, too.
I know.
I think it was it KP?
I don't remember who it was.
Oh,
Burrow
God.
Strike. Oof, level 2, not quite the range you're looking for. As Paparazzi pots a Metamorphosis, KP takes an Arctic Burn, will be forced to skewer away, and will live as a result.
It didn't feel, I don't know if it does it. It feels like it does a lot of damage, but you have to like line it up, and it just feels like Refresher is still the far better item. Maybe it was just a one-try thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh,
I mean, they were already winning that game as well, right? They didn't really have much of an effect regardless.
True, and Faith actually steals that rune from LanM under the guise of 3 heroes. He just snatches it, and he's almost level 4 on the Bane, and we've just been seeing him run around. Uh-oh, Kaka bottom.
Yeah, Kaka is going to get Reaper Scythe, and it's going to be enough as Ori will regen to a high degree and just walk back mid, happy with that kill.
And he had an Arcane rune, so 70-second Reaper Scythe cooldown.
Nice.
That's a good feeling. Get a free kill with that Reaper Scythe. You know no one's going to die on the map because Sand King's dead. That's like the perfect kill. But now this Tidehunter, he's going to be finding experience, but has Soul Ring queued up, could go Mana Boots, but you can't do anything. Mugi, level 3 Fury swipes. Even with that Anchor Smash, he just eats you alive.
Yeah, but all things considered, 26-2, not too shabby. He's died once, of course, but that was 3 heroes. So, could definitely be worse for a Tidehunter. Paparazzi in the meantime. It's going to be seen here. Oh, they're going to get the Nightmare into a split Earth. They have Skewer available. Let's see if he uses it. Not even needed, as the damage is out of control. Well played indeed, as Newbee gets another kill under the belt.
Pulse Nova 100 per second. It's one of those abilities you get right at level 6, and that is so much damage when you have full mana.
And Mugi top lane, level 6 right now, going for the Morbid Mask. At what point do you Roche with Ursa? What's the safest? I shouldn't say safest. What's the fastest point?
I think against it. I think that's. I mean, they picked the Tidehunter before the Ursa, but unless Tidehunter's dead, I don't think you can Roche like even early. Even with like a smoke, if you see Mugi out of lane, you're gonna know something's up. That's the biggest thing about this Tidehunter. Actually, Tidehunter makes so much sense in this that you just can't. They can't ever give up Roche, which is nice. Until Ursa just smokes and does it, and I just look like a fool, but that'll happen.
I mean, there's always possibility for that, right? As mid lane, we're going to have Initiation Split Earth. Will miss. Nightmare applied to Necro. Ori's going to have to sleep that one off. And looks like that'll break things up here. So SC, I've noticed that Leshrax have been getting the Pulse Nova a lot earlier than I'm used to seeing in these games.
Yeah, I feel like the damage is so... If you're not going to go the Lightning Storm build, you need the Pulse Nova just for the amount of damage it provides early game.
Was this changed recently? I mean, not super recently, but... Because we haven't really seen a lot of Lesh in general.
I don't believe so. I think it might have reduced like mana per second a little bit a couple patches ago, but which is always nice.
Yeah, I'm happy to see this hero back as... I mean, not that it's still a small sample size, but back as a core. I cannot stand this hero as a support. I feel like core is definitely the way to go.
We really haven't seen it as a support in a long time for good reason. Bottom lane, man, they just... Anytime Fenrir has Arctic Burn up, they're just going at him.
And
he has Soul Ring.
Tempting to get out here. Oh,
now he does.
TP will be canceled. Young 11 will TP out as well.
I want to say, besides Miracle, Young 11's definitely had like the best individual performances in this tournament. He has been playing insane.
Yeah, he's been pretty impressive.
But meanwhile, Ori, man, he is level 8.5. This Necrophos treads, wand, double null. He has 1k HP flat with intelligence treads on. That's a ton.
with these nightmares, obviously sets up the split earth. I'm used to seeing this arrow come from across the map, but obviously no Mirana this time around.
Yeah, I was actually pretty surprised we didn't see Mirana when they picked Bane first, and then VG just didn't take Mirana. I was like, it's for sure Mirana.
And I thought AM might have been picked this game as well, but not to be. Paparazzi in this top lane.
Oh, and they're converging.
Oh,
Both teams
he's gonna
are.
be spotted. Kaka has a level 2 Burrow Strike, but don't think there's going to be much backup for him as the Arctic Burn is applied. And Moogie's like, what are you doing, bro? Kaka attempting to run away. Landham's going to find the Earth Shock. Gets the telekinesis, going to stun Faith as well. Kaka, nice double Burrow Strike into a split Earth. Lots of damage coming through as the Rubik will be the first to fall. There'll be 2 dead support for Vici Gaming. So in the end, Newbee getting the better of that exchange.
And they actually they're pinging at the tower. I think they actually saw Ori TP here. So he's going to have to be very careful behind this tower even.
Man, Kaka's got some, he's got some balls, man.
Dude, he does, like, it looked like his teammate was backing out. And he just stunned in, kept fighting. He didn't waste his Sandstorm either super early, which was really nice. And then he just baited and got another double stun at the end there, set up those kills.
Newbee and Faith dealing a little bit of damage to this tier 1 tower, but Ori is here with his newly picked up Veil of Discord. We'll be going for a Hood next on the list for him. And Blink Dagger was pretty close onto Moogie, only about 700 away at this point, not too shabby.
Yep,
And with that, I expect him to be much more aggressive.
And that's it. That's just the normal build. You get the lifesteal so you can, it pressures early Roche for sure, and then you get the Blink Dagger, and I mean, that's why it feels weird. Ursa feels so good this game, because when Tidehunter Ravage is down and Metamorphosis is down, you have like the lowest cooldown carry on your team in Ursa, who can just run at you 24/7.
Yeah. And I think this might be a prime game for an Aghanims on Ursa, actually.
I assume that hasn't changed at all, I don't believe.
I don't believe it's
just
changed
get out
at
of
all,
stuns.
Yeah. Just get out of stuns. I'm pretty sure it works against like Necro ult as well, so you can't really Necro ult him. Oh, we're gonna see Fiend's Grip top lane. Moogie, he's just gonna beat him down. One more right click to do it, but there is the Ghost Shroud. Only delays the inevitable as the Brain Sap finishes him off.
Yeah, and he actually did that in the wrong order. He sticked and then W'd. Could have had a chance of living there, more than likely not. And then middle,
That's another thing to bring out. I mean, we brought it up in past games where there's been Necrophos, but Ursa typically would get a Diffusal Blade against a Necro, be able to right-click through that Ghost Shroud, but that's not a possibility anymore now that it does not dispel.
Now that Diffusal Blades...
It doesn't diffuse, right?
The booty blade, yeah, it is not very good anymore. That thing is just... It's pretty garbage on non-Manta heroes now. But bottom lane, are they just going to take this for free? We saw just a scan coming out. Yeah,
looks like it.
No reason. I mean, it's your first tier 1 tower going down for a Metamorphosis. You're fine with that.
Yeah, definitely could be worse as we're going to have a sleep top lane. Moogie jumps in. There's the split Earth. Necrophos is likely to be dead, but no, here comes the Ravage from Young 11, and the Reaper Scythe will turn it around on the Lesh.
Wow.
Great job from Vici Gaming rotating. See if they can get some more. Octobrink's going to slow up Faith. Doesn't have Nightmare for 2 seconds, but no mana regardless of the fact. Gush is up very soon as well. Moogie thinking about going in. He's going to attempt to right-click down to Necrophos. He'll get it. The curse is too late. It ends up being a trade of the Necro and Bane. Could have been a lot worse for Newbee. At least they get something out of it.
Yeah, VG's still happy with that. You get the middle Lesh. He's one of those heroes, like, you know the Ursa's going to have farm. The Leshrac, if you slow him down early, he gets a late Bloodstone. He just dies so quickly. Especially, say Ursa, Leshrac are standing next to each other. You just ulti that Leshrac, and he's going to die to Ursa so quickly if he's underfarmed.
And Moogie now looking for the Roshan kill.
Let's see.
Now that he knows Ravage is down, it's pretty safe to take.
Yeah, Metamorphosis and Ravage, right? Like, he waited for it, and here you go.
Radiant are scanning.
And look, they're all going to line up anyways. They're like, don't worry, buddy. Give you an Empower, and we'll do it.
They just want to leech the XP. That's what the goal really is.
Oh, middle lane, they could actually find a kill on Lan M, but oh, he scouts him out barely with that vision. He's getting like perma-bashed by this Roshan.
He'll find it in the end. And KP, of course, with the Blink Dagger.
Ooh, Ori needs to be careful.
Great initiations. Kaka has the Burrow Strike available. There's the RP, but Necrophos stunned up by the Fiend's Grip, and Ursa's just going to jump in and destroy Faith on the Wyvern. Looks like Necrophos' list is Newbee. Looking to roll over this game right now. Lanham attempting to get out, has absolutely no mana. See if they can actually chase him. SC really wants it, but we'll think better of it. Turn their attention perhaps to this tier 1.
Yep, and bottom lane, even though he doesn't have Metamorphosis, he's just about to have it up. Oh, he gets the stun.
The split Earth will connect. Kaka with the level 3 Burrow Strike available. Sunder is there. Can he get it off? Absolutely not. The Epicenter on top of the dead corpse. That was a terrible
And now
at one
middle.
point.
Young 11's in
All right.
Uh-oh.
Curse. Oh,
dear.
God. Oh, not like this.
He's getting ulted by Necro, isn't he? Wait, maybe not. It's a late TP.
Oh, he might make it. He might be in range here, but actually the anchor smash, more than enough damage.
And we were just talking about that. You just get an ulti from Winter Wyvern, Ursa just blows up whoever he's near.
Yeah.
Still, Newbee's happy. I mean, okay, we lost to Bane, but we just got a kill on Terrorblade. Maybe we shouldn't have.
Oh, Moogie's
And
going
he's
to jump in
going
and go to town on Young 11, but they have the numbers, Duvici gave. But here come the supports here. Kaka with the Burrow Strike onto the Tidehunter. Moogie. There's see the Reaper Scythe that's going to finish off the Sand King in style. So Newbee bit off a little bit more they can chew in that engagement.
Yeah, and I think that was a little miscommunication because Moogie does not want to go in with Blink when he doesn't have Enrage. I guess he has the Aegis, but still, like, if Necro's ult's off cooldown, he does not want to jump in without his ulti.
KP takes out the tier 1 tower. We'll be finishing up his mana boots now. I assume something like a Force Staff or Shadowblade is next for him.
And man, look at both these offlaners. Young 11's hitting level 12. Both of them have decent amount of items right now, and Tidehunter is going for that Solar Crest. I like it, especially against an Ursa, obviously.
Okay, yeah.
It's a smart build.
At what point do you get Blink? Is that the next item after that, you think?
I mean, I feel they're never wanting to start fights right. They always want to be reactive in it with Necro as well as Terrorblade. So maybe later, I think he might go Pipe, honestly, before.
Okay.
They're just so reactive. Like, you wait for Bane to go on a grip, and then you counter initiate. You don't even have to jump in.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And we saw that last grip was he gripped like a Cold Embrace person. It did like 10 damage, and then it just felt so useless.
It's all about that mana burn Fiend's Grip, Grand.
Oh, indeed, especially against a Necro, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Moogie. He's going to be backed up here by Faith. Young 11 is available. Does not have Ravage for another 70 seconds. I'm sure he'll be nightmared here. Ori showing himself off as well. Lan M here for backup. In addition, Moogie jumps right in. He's not scared. He's going to get Fade bolted. Moogie at half HP, pops the ult. Again, has Aegis, so not really scared of anything. As the Fiend's Grip is applied to Necrophos, Ori will be destroyed by Moogie yet again. Young 11 looks to be next on the list as Moogie's going to blink in. Might lose the Aegis if he's not careful, but instead we'll get a second kill. Lan M looks to be safe for now, but Moogie, again, almost unkillable right now.
He is, and I mean, we're just seeing low cooldowns versus high cooldowns. They can just continue to keep doing these fights, and if VG wants to commit to them, they're going to lose these every time when Ravage and Metamorphosis aren't up.
They want Fenrir in this mid lane. He has absolutely no mana if they're able to find him. Moogie, there we go. The Skewer will connect, break some trees. Fenrir gets off the Cold Embrace for now. SC gets off the Split Earth on the Rubik who's come here. KP faking out the RP, not needed to take out that support as Lan M is going to steal Shockwave. If only he had Ags on that Shockwave.
Oh, he'd farm. Luckily, he still does. He has the aggressive null field up, actually. So Fade Bolt, Shockwave, he can still farm waves so quickly, but not anymore.
Oh my goodness. The bear has come to play. Mistaking Rubik for a bag of honey.
Oh.
I know.
Winnie the Pooh, just love him. Winnie the Pooh's addiction to honey it always confused me. I know you're a bear,
we
but
need a cosmetic for Ursa that makes him more like Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh cosmetic.
Hey, we're headed in that direction, Grant, and I don't see a problem with it. All right.
All right, I'm fine with that. But man, he almost has a full Desolator, so they have plenty of push, right? Vlad's plus Desolator. I mean, you finally have. I mean, that's the biggest thing about Ursa. He could never push buildings, and I think it was Owie 2000 who kind of started doing that Desolator build, and it definitely caught on.
Yeah, getting rid of all these orb effects, if you will. They can all stack for the most part now, except I think Mana Burn is kind of the exception depending on which source you're getting it from.
True.
But yeah, being able to get Deso on Ursa, very nice.
And he has Empower. I mean, this guy he doesn't even feel like I mean, Fury Swipes is great, but he just feels like a normal carry even without that because of the Empower damage. Look at him farm these stacks. My God.
Yeah. Good old cleave action for Ursa. Gotta love it. As the Aegis will pop, but that'll just heal him back up to full, and they're just gonna attempt to smoke here. 13-6 advantage for Newbee, 3K net worth. Not as high as you would think, considering how this game has been going, because they've been super aggressive.
I think it's I mean, the Leshrac, he's second highest, but it feels so weird. He's second highest, but he only has a Bloodstone.
Yeah.
That's an expensive item still. People don't realize that item is costly.
Well, he's going to deal considerable damage to this tier 2 tower with that Diabolic Edict, and I don't think the Smoke Gank's going to come to fruition with any actual kills.
I'll take your trip.
But damage has been done.
And Terrorblade is getting some farm. He goes Dragonlance into the Yasha. Is he still going to go Manta? He has a BKB queued up, but I feel you need Manta in this game, or you just don't have the damage to deal with anyone. But you also need survivability. It's just a tough game in general from Vici Gaming.
Well, Vici's going to use the fact that they have their cooldowns available to their advantage with this smoke gank.
I mean,
It's not really a smoke gank. This is a team gank.
And look at this. They're already TPing out. Kaka might be the one left for dead. But Lanam, he's nervous. He's like, if I go to that forest, I might just die.
Yeah. No, he's going to break the smoke on Lanam. See who reacts first. He's going to steal the Burrow Strike. That's one of the best steals in the game for a Rubik, but Kaka will get out in time. Either way, though, KP, yeah, I didn't even realize he was here. He's going to get cursed up.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
He's going to skew out and attempt to TP, but the telekinesis is there. You are in the wide open trees. If only Tree Ant Protector was in this game to be able to regrow those trees in quick succession, Grant.
Every 3 seconds. Wow.
Game-breaking mechanics.
But that's a huge pickoff. With Reaper's Scythe, he was dead for 65 seconds. You didn't use Metamorphosis. This could honestly be a base push if they really, like, wish to.
Yeah, Ravage is available. Pretty much everything except for the Necro ult, as you talked about. 100 seconds for that.
This is like the TV, though. I mean, 1 kill and your base just disappears. Like, that's always the TB game.
Yeah, this tier 2 is definitely dead. But in the meantime, Mugi dealing a little bit of damage here with that Desolator to the tier 2 top. If they can get a trade, they'd love that.
And
we'll see if they continue on in the bot lane. No, we're going to see some TPs back into this mid lane. Telekinesis onto Sand King. No Burrow Strike for 5 seconds, but there's the Burrow Strike from Lanam instead. I can use it better than you, my friend, as they take him down with ease. Top lane in the meantime, Mugi be harassed up a bit, but I would assume should be fine with that Nightmare.
That was a perfect, I think that'll be the end of that. That was a perfect TP succession. 4 of them TP'd middle, and Terrorblade actually got the deny on middle tower, and then only Tidehunter was there to TP top, but they get the deny there. That is a lot of team gold that like a Leshrac could really use.
This Rubik, Lanam, starting to get a little bit of farm right now. That Burrow Strike definitely helps his cause, especially with the Null Field combination and Fade Bolt. Can take out an entire wave. Only like 700-800 away from a Blink Dagger himself.
And that's huge initiation. Then you don't even need the Tidehunter. You just blink in. Maybe you get Cold Embrace. They aim you. You survive. And
just steal RP.
Steal RP.
Blink
that's all you have to do.
Good stuff.
And now Faith. He's just chilling. You want to go uphill, he says?
I mean, this is a hard kill. This is a very hard kill. They definitely see him. They don't know if anybody is waiting in the wings, though.
That's the scariest
They're spending
part.
a lot of time doing this as well.
I mean,
they're just waiting for those Ancients to die, I guess. He's going to skewer him back onto the other side of the cliff, and Ursa's going to go to town. There's the Burrow Strike after the Kraken Shell's already activated. Terrific layering from Newbee to ensure that they will be able to take out that Tidehunter in quick succession.
Yeah, it was. And good patience from Young 11, though. Like, a lot of people might have just ulted right there, and then you ult nothing, and then you don't have your cooldown. They're just going to push your base. So, I mean, you do lose your Tide, but at least he didn't waste his Ravage.
Very true. BKB now up and running for this Terrorblade. Paparazzi should be able to fight a little bit now.
Yeah, once he gets Manta, that's a good thing. Like, the initial burst damage from Ursa doesn't do that much from Terrorblade because you don't have the Fury swipes up on you. You have 30 armor. Like, you're feeling good with that BKB. But still, the scariness of push from Deso Ursa as well as Diabolic Edict, pardon me.
Yeah, you talked about this SC Leshrac going Bloodstone, pretty typical. Goes Boots of Travel now. I wouldn't say we haven't seen a big impact, but as far as team fights are concerned, we haven't seen a big impact yet. And that's because of the items, right? So I assume with his next, which I assume is going to be Lincoln's, should see a little bit more action here.
Top lane, damn. Leshrac's level 17, though. This Necro's like, wait a minute, I'm only 15. I'm not sure about this.
His number's bigger than mine.
And
see some D-Ward action here from Faith.
I like this, though. Like, they don't need a team fight. Newbie, if you just farm that Leshrac, you get a Black King Bar, you get a Lincoln's as well. How do they fight you? The Tidehunter does nothing to you, but well, they might just fight him here and solo kill him.
Yeah, he's all alone. The Ravage will miss, though. He pops his haste. Didn't take that into account. And we'll see if Newbie can take advantage of that long cooldown on Young 11.
They need to, or they could on worst Roche spawn possible for Newbie, but still, I mean, Ravage is going to be down for a while. 30 seconds in the Roche pit.
Mugi's just going to chill.
Whatever. I'm chilling. I'm chilling in my bear den.
Speaking of cosmetics for Ursa, we need more cosmetics for Roche.
Cosmetics for Roche. How would that work? Who would get a pick?
Right now, Well, right now he turns golden if you have like a level 2000 compendium, right?
Oh, really?
But it's very. I'm not a big fan of that one because it's too subtle. Like you didn't even know about it, for example, right? You need to make him into like an entirely different animal. A gorilla, for example, would be a good choice.
A gorilla.
Some nostalgia there.
Intriguing. That does not sound like Dota lore at all, but I mean,
Maybe,
we have a cowboy.
He drops a banana instead of a cheese. It makes
That'd be
sense.
cool. It does. We do have like a cowboy hat on Ursa, so nothing's possible. Nothing's impossible, I should say.
That's true. As speaking of Roshan, the very plain and simple Roshan will die
That's a cheese.
for a second time. Question is, who picks up the cheese? Ursa will eat it all.
I'll take it. Yoink. And remember when cheese used to be on the third Roche, and now cheese on second, and then another item on third? I wonder
Yeah.
if we just move up Aegis cheese to 2, refresher to like the second Roche, and then what do you have on the third Roche?
Well, no, you keep it as it is now, but on the fourth Roche, you add a fourth. You just keep going up. You keep adding an
You
item.
had a meteor hammer effect?
Oh, God, no. Not meteor. Anything but meteor hammer, please. But no, Divine Rapier on the 10th one, if it's a really long game, that sounds fine to me.
Sounds terrible for a caster if you're casting a 10 Roche.
Burrow Strike onto Tide Hunter. He's going to get his Kraken Shell off, though. Nice passive effect, big skill-based ability there.
Oh, Lan M. That's like the worst skill form of Pulse Nova. I mean, it does a little bit of burst damage if you solo catch someone, but I don't think you're going to solo catch into on Newbee. He wanted that stun, right? The instant cast Rubik Lashrak stun is so good.
That's true.
Unfortunately, he did not get it.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Now they're going to use this Aegis to full effect as this Tier 2 tower looks to be all but dead as Young 11. You were right, by the way. Went for the pipe, so holding off on that blink for now.
Is under attack.
Looking for the counter initiate.
And Paparazzi just farming. He is only level 16, unfortunately, while Leshrak, Ursa are both 19. These dudes are farmed.
Yeah. I mean, he's the most farm in his team, obviously, with a 12K net worth right now. But if you look at the overall structure of the game, 4K behind the Leshrak. That's essentially a Tier 1 item behind him.
And the Leshrak, this is a great game for his level 20 talent. I mean, I hate talking about talents, but 25% evasion against a Terrorblade?
What do you mean you hate talking about talents, Grant? I love it. We
I
can talk
feel
about
we
this all day.
over-talked about talents
How
a little
dare
bit.
you? KP's going to get spotted out here. Telekinesis onto him. Nice counter initiate. Burrow Strike, but there's the curse is not here yet. He gets off the heal for himself as Ori. Mugi just got the BKB. Gets cursed up. Just in place in the meantime. The Rubik will be taken out here. An Epicenter coming with a double Burrow Strike. Ravage on top, though. Young 11 very low. Ori has the Reaper Scythe. Will use it to take out the Sand King. Young 11 attempting to get out. A couple more right clicks should suffice in his death. And Newbee look to finish him off, but there's the Cold Embrace yet again. It's been a big problem.
Damn.
As he pops the cheese, though, Split Art along with the Pulse Nova is going to be enough to take him out in that state of heal. It's a 2 for 2 right now, as Bane will be the third to drop now. SC is going to have to run away as Ori, not a whole lot of mana to speak of. Fenrir slowing with the Arctic Burn. SC looks to be dead yet again, so that is a beautiful fight for Vici Gaming.
And Young 11, the 4-man ulti on that Tidehunter, and Paparazzi, even without that Manta doing so much damage, that was just an honestly perfect team fight. Even in the back lines, it was a full Fiend's Grip on that Rubik, but you just Fiend's Gripped a Rubik, and you focus so much effort in that Cold Embrace. Set up that kill, right? Winter Wyvern gets it on himself. He's just sitting there, then they ulti him as well, and they set up an entire fight for Young 11.
And look at this. So Leshrak right now, I forgot about this talent. 25% evasion talent. He takes it 20. He's going super tank mode. You got the Lincolns, you got BKB coming. Obviously, Bloodstone supplies a lot of that as well. And on the other side, with that big fight, Vici Gaming, Paparazzi, we're talking about his farm not being the greatest, but he's catapulted to close to the top now, almost to finish Scotty.
He doesn't. Screw it. I don't need Manta. That item, that's just garbage.
Casual Yasha.
Love
It's the
it.
stuff, man.
The move speed to
Why
farm.
not?
The new Iron Talon, a little more expensive, but
That's kind of is.
well, you were talking about it earlier. Kaka actually going for the A on disc. Whoop, gank coming on Fate. He's dead.
Yeah, he is donezo.
And man, it feels like the more scaling core. I mean, it's Terrorblade versus Ursa, so. And Metamorphosis is almost up, and they made nothing happen because they got team wiped. They didn't have any chance to. And now he has a full Eye of Scotty. Now you have a Necrophos. He's going Aghanims next.
Oh, yeah.
You have
Is that a 20-second cooldown on Reaper Scythe, I want to say, off the top of my head?
25.
Either way, 25, all right, very low. You can use that multiple times in fights.
Especially in
Pretty
these
strong.
long, drawn-out team fights versus Ursa when you're just kiting him with Cold Embrace. And, man, we're seeing, I know the panel just talked about it. Ursa is pretty much hard countered by this hero in Winter Wyvern, the first pick.
Yeah. Needs to be able to burst him down. Unfortunately, can't really do anything once the Cold Embrace comes out. And I do believe we're going to see a potential smoke here for Vici as Ravage is available to use. The BKB is at 9 seconds for Paparazzi right now.
And that's the best feeling. You have a Ravage, so you have a big AoE on yours, while KP, he has to be so pinpoint accurate with reverse polarity, and it's so hard against the Winter Wyvern. This hero just like counters everyone almost on Newbee.
I mean, this is why we've seen him banned for a majority of this tournament, I feel like.
Banned first picked, I think, every time he's not banned almost.
Yeah. So that is kind of the issue. You got to initiate on the Wyvern. Don't want to waste too much, though, at the same time. And in that same token, Fenrir is going to be way in the back, so it will be difficult to actually find him to begin with.
Now, we might see Newbee. We already do kind of see him. Sand King split pushing bottom. Boots of Travel on SC. He can just split push his Leshrac as well. We might see him just move to that, but your base is going to die. You're against the Terrorblade.
Tier 1 tower taken out mid. I haven't really looked at Ursa's talents too much here. I know how much you love talking about talents because we haven't talked about it nearly enough. +1 enrage duration.
That's just +1 to invulnerability. +1 more science.
By the way, he's going for a nullifier. So we've seen that once in this tournament, I believe. It definitely makes sense for that hero. Prevent BKBs on whoever you're initiating on. Mutes doesn't silence them, just their items.
Yeah.
But with a quick succession of attacks, it's almost like a stun. You just keep them in place for 4 or 5 seconds, or however long it lasts.
And I was one of the guys talking highly of Nullifier, but isn't Abyssal Blade just better if you jump on the Winter Wyvern, it feels like?
I think so.
I mean, obviously we don't know why. I don't really know why he's going to Nullify. It'll be interesting to see what he does in fights. It's a nice counter to the Ghost Scepter, I guess.
Yeah, Necrophos, you can just blow him up. You can actually dispel the Ghost Shroud. That's definitely true.
Radiant's top tower is
And now they're just pushing in top.
But you're right. I feel like the Necrophos isn't really the issue. It's the Wyvern.
Yeah.
Can't kill him.
I like this. VG is just taking all these. I would like if they got a few deeper wards, because, I mean, you just lost the first 2 Roshans, but if you get a 3rd Roshan and you have a Tidehunter on your team, that feels pretty good.
Yeah. The Refresher Shard, double ult. And if the game goes long enough, he just gets an actual Refresher Orb.
That's very scary.
And I think you mentioned it earlier, the Sand King, Kaka does pick up an Eon Disc. Should be interesting how this plays out. We've only seen this a couple times so far.
Instead of something like just the Force Staff to get in and out of fights. But, I mean, it feels like when Sand King stuns in, he's committed to the fight. And that's the biggest reason you go Aeon Disc or Force Staff. Force Staff's if, like, oh, stun in, force me out, force team out. When he stuns in, they're committed to the fight. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, so he'll jump in with Epicenter, Burrow Strike. He'll already deal his damage by the time he hits the 80% threshold. So at that point, he'll just be invulnerable for 2 seconds. So it makes sense. But I am a little bit surprised, like you said, that he got that before Force Staff. So we'll see. Obviously, these pro players have a little bit more practice. I haven't even played the patch yet, for God's sake, Grant.
But you're casting it.
I've been fiending. I need to play. There's the Nullifier officially picked up now on Mugi.
As well as the Mant on Terrorblade, and this is a nice timing. He has the +10 stats, so a free ulti orb on Terrorblade as well. He has 3,000 HP with agility treads.
Uh-oh.
Oh my.
Might have a little wrap around here. KP and Mugi really want to push this, but they're going to get surrounded.
They know people are up here, but they don't have wards. There's the ward.
Has the Curse available, but we'll just jump in. The Reaper side, is it enough? Yes! Down goes Ursa for 106 seconds. No buyback to speak of. KP pops the Shadow Blade. I assume should be okay, unless he's spotted here randomly.
And it feels like even though Newbee's up 5K, have they missed their timing window? You have your best scaling hero now is a Leshrac, who can do damage, but a lot of it's magic. And you see the Necrophos, they have a pipe plus the 20% magic resistance plus a hood on him. Like, Ursa doesn't scale that well late game. Like, he's already got the items he needs.
Yeah, he tapers
Where does
up
he go?
big time. I mean, it's kind of like a Sven. This melee hero really wants to get up close and personal, deals a lot of damage, but more single target based than the Sven, obviously. And will definitely taper off. I didn't even realize by Nullifier 100 mana. Did you know that? That seems quite high.
That's a lot. 14 second cooldown as well. And there we
there's
go.
the Axe. So Ori with the 25-second Reaper sight. Still on cooldown for another minute, though.
Oh, and Roche is pinged out, actually, by the Rubik.
Yeah, this tier 2 tower looks to be dead. And Roshan soon to come. Kaka with the Sandstorm. Doing a little residual damage as the fortification is popped right now.
Sand King doesn't care. He's just chilling.
You know, I really hope we get to 25 because I have yet to see this 50% Sandstorm slow and blind. It sounds amazing. Hopefully he gets it.
Oh, middle lane. This Tidehunter, they think that, and this is the problem when you don't have wards up, right? They thought people were behind Young 11. Nah,
Right.
he was just by himself.
Yeah, Roche is already underway for Vici Gaming.
This is, I
Arsa
believe
is
you
up at
give,
5.
you give, I want to say
I don't know.
cheese to Paparazzi, but it looks like he wants to pick up the Aegis himself. Obviously, when you die and come back alive, you don't have Metamorphosis, but
Newbee wants to do something about this Roche, but it's already dead. Rubik is the first initiation here. Lan M getting bursted down by the Pulse Nova. BKB popped by SC. We have the RP now on the Terrorblade, but is the damage there? Doesn't look like it. He's just going to go to town on this Leshrac. See the Epicenter coming to play on Fenrir. He's already at half HP, but he's going to be fine. Ravage solo onto the Leshrac. They really want this kill. And a Scotty, well, he's going to deny himself with that Bloodstone. In the meantime, though, it's a 2-for-1. The buyback from Leshrac. They really need this fight, does Newbee. Oh, the Lemon's going to get bursted down by Mugi, but there's the Reaper side on BKB, though, so he will live for a little bit longer. Only an 80-second cooldown for him. Could have been a lot worse. Paparazzi getting Chain Sun. Cannot get the Sunder off. Does have the Aegis available. Ori, in the meantime, absolutely no mana to speak of. Might be in some trouble here as Paparazzi. No more Metamorphosis for you. He's just going to get right-clicked, but very high armor. Burrow Strike is there. Faith, absolutely no mana either. SC's running out for himself. KP, everybody's out of mana. There's a Sunder onto KP as he blinks away. The range on that was ridiculous. And it looks like Vici Gaming will live. Oh, I speak too soon, perhaps. The Burrow Strike, the never-ending initiation here from Newbee, who are all out of mana right now. Split Earth onto Necrophos. There's the Ether Disc coming into play. Not doing a whole lot for him right here, as Bane looks to be the, I assume, last kill, as this fight has been pretty ridiculous.
There's no mana. Neither team has mana. The Necro's out of mana. The Leshrac's out of mana. No one can do anything. And then they just turn it around.
Look at this. Almost like very little net worth change, even though we did have a buyback. That was a very even fight overall.
And actually, Newbee technically won it experience-wise for some strange reason, but
yeah.
I mean, they just don't have a counter to Terrorblade right now, except I think the solo Ravage by Tidehunter was a little bit strange. They do kill the Lesh, but he just instantly buys back and TPs in. He still has their Refresher Disc, though, so that was the one thing I believe they didn't use.
Oh, that's true. So he did pick it up in the end.
And cheese. He has both, actually, so they're fine. They might actually just go push high ground now.
Yeah, you probably give that cheese to, well,
I think TB, if you really want.
Honestly, you probably give it to yourself. You just keep it to be able to get that double Ravage off no matter what.
You're a greedy Tidehunter, aren't you? Well, I'll take both of these,
Why
thank
not?
you.
I'm a green fat watermelon. I deserve a refresher orbit. Matches my set.
I think I'm surprised they're pushing. I thought Paparazzi would farm up 500 more gold.
Breaking the Lincolns into a telekinesis. Here comes the initiation. RP onto 2. Skewer not doing a whole lot. Young 11 uses that refresher shard. Has the Ravage available. Epicenter coming in. Not doing a whole lot right now. The Ravage only hits a couple of heroes. There's the Reaper Scythe taking out the Ursa. 112 seconds on the deck. Absolutely no buyback though. Faith in the meantime getting right clicked. Nice Nightmare though at the last second on the Terrorblade. They're going to take it off with that Wyvern. Sacrificial Wyvern right now. Young 11 trying to bait them in, has the cheese, will use it, so Burrow Strike ends up being wasted. And now I assume Terrorblade and company just going to go to town on this tower and Rax. No Ursa for 90 seconds.
Yeah, he's dead for 120. He got Necrolt, and that's curtains for at least one set of Rax, it looks like. Are they backing out? He has Sunder still, but, I mean, they have burst damage. He can't go down.
Metamorphosis still available for quite a while. He actually Sunders Fenrir again. All for the team, my friend, as space is being created. Lanham's like, I don't really care if you kill me. Honestly, bro, please. Can you even kill me is the real question. The Rax is down. The melee, that is. Tidehunter blinks out to safety. Faith, see if you're able to catch up. Doesn't look like it, so Rubik will be the sacrifice.
And now we just see the late game power of Terrorblade versus an Ursa as well as a Leshrac. They have a ton of team fight on Newbee, but Winter Wyvern, man, what a hero. He's just healing everyone, locking down the Ursa for 5 seconds every fight.
So can we come to the conclusion that Wyvern will be 100% banned the rest of this series?
By the person who has second pick, more than likely.
Yeah.
We do have Shiva's on Leshrac as well as level 25 after he kills this wave.
Let's see what he gets.
Mean, his 25s aren't that good. Like, you get the slow, which is nice, I guess, in team fights, kiting him around, but it doesn't feel like it has that big of an impact.
It's 3 seconds on top of, what does it usually do? So it's a 4-second total slow from Lightning Storm
Which
now.
is a lot. It's a very, very high slow, but we saw last fight, KP actually had a nice 2-man ultimate, but then he missed the skewer, sending his team over there.
Yeah.
Which which might have
Yeah,
hurt
that
him
was
a little
bit odd. I mean, the thing about Lesh, though, if we get back to that, it's kind of a strange hero, right? Because you're looking at this slow, 4-second slow, 4-second cooldown, literally 100% slow if you want. But the problem with Leshrac is you have to cast it. His cast animation's god-awful. You want to be in the thick of things with Diabolic Edict, Pulse Nova. That's kind of the entire point of the hero. So it's one of those trade-offs.
Yeah, the one guy you want to kite around is a Terrorblade with the BKB, so you're not going to be slowing him at all.
Exactly. Well, you'll be slowing his attack speed, Grant.
Oh, indeed.
Slightly.
That's good. And now this Terrorblade, what's he going? He's going for an MKB. He has a full butterfly up now. He can sell that Dragon Lance more than likely when he gets the MKB. And
right.
I mean, he's pretty much 6 slotted at that point.
Have we seen the Nullifier used? I mean, I'm sure he's used it. I just haven't noticed. There needs to be like an audio cue. Nullifier's been used! So I can
you want to be on Nullifier duty?
Yeah.
I got it.
Take it for me, bro. By all means.
Look at this Newbee just sitting around together, trying to get some wards down. I mean, both teams are pretty blind on the map. Vici Gaming actually just put down like their first ward in a long time.
It is the 40-minute mark, though, so double runes will now spawn. DD is available. Feels like DD is basically there every time now. Paparazzi will take it. One of the best heroes to get double damage for sure.
Oh, yeah. Melt some bases apart, and they're just pushing together as 4 with Ori up top, pushing in the wave.
Oh boy, SC gets initiated on. Here we go with the Burrow Strike. Doesn't really connect as it's stolen now from the Rubik. SC pops the BKB, but he's just on the hightail now. Just getting out. Need to reset. Young 11 has Ravage, but nobody's really close to him. Pops the Lincolns. Ravage onto 3 heroes, just barely. There's the Burrow Strike. Nice layering onto the Leshrac. Goes in Viz thanks to that Shroud, but Ori jumping in, not really in a good place. Stuck in the trees is the Necrophos. That's not good. Mugi in the meantime. There's the RP onto the Terrorblade. Can they burst him down? They're not doing nearly enough damage. The Curse comes into play. Ursa.
Grip.
Fiend's Grip comes here as well. The Necrophos ult is not enough to take out Mugi, so the Terrorblade does die. And it looks like Vici Gaming are losing heroes. It's 2 for 1. Ursa did end up falling, though. So we'll see if they can continue on in this fight as Rubik, in the thick of things, will drop to his death. Young 11 looks to be next. And Newbee looking to finish off this fight in style as they are very fortunate that Necrophos was stuck in the trees for most of that fight.
Oh, the Aghanim's ulti, though.
Okay. All right, just run away. You can't kill him anymore. He's just going to regen. Oh, boy.
And he has an ult in 15.
Let's see if he can stick to this Sandstorm here. Heartstopper, Heartstopper, kill him. Heartstopper, come on. Faster. All right, Kaka. He has the blink available. Should be fine.
Yeah, he's baiting him out. Man, I mean, it felt like Newbee won that fight, but because the Leshrac goes down in the end, it almost feels like it was a pretty even fight, even though it was, what, 3 for 4?
It was, looks like 2 for 4 right now.
All right.
And I'm not sure how big of a deal. I'm sure it was a big deal, but Ori blinked into the trees and was just stuck there for the duration of his blink cooldown.
That was rough. And another
just the Heartstopper Aura was the only
yeah,
the
another great
there.
ulti from Faith, though. He waits for them to all blink in, and then Faith just in the background glimmer capes into instant ultimate, and because the Rubik's on the other side of him, he's the one with the gem, and they just have no vision of this Bane ulting their cores.
And now as this game progresses, the endless talk of talent becomes more relevant, Grant.
My favorite.
I know. We're almost hitting level 20 here onto Bane. I assume he's going to go for the... So there's 75 move speed or 100 enfeeble damage reduction, which I assume you steal that damage as well.
Enfeeble is, yeah, and Enfeeble's extremely good versus Terrorblade.
Oh, wait, he didn't go the Enfeeble steals damage talent,
he
though.
Went the move
he went 6 armor.
Oh.
Very interesting.
I mean, you're not right-clicking ever, right? You're just casting spells.
I don't know. He's been out of mana in a lot of these fights where the right-click might be pretty good, but...
I don't
know. I'm not one to question these things.
6 armor is just too good early game, especially against a Terrorblade.
Late game Mask of Madness, Grant. Now you can't do it.
Thank God.
No.
That might just lose him the game.
That's not why VP lost. How dare you?
Well, yeah, just picking the hero middle is why they lost, but...
Blasphemy. Young 11 right now, not scared of anything.
And BKB, finally a BKB on the Necrophos. That could be a real big game changer as long as he's not caught in the trees, like you said. And it feels like, I mean, now we see the Leshrac. If he gets that Octarine core up, how do you kill this hero? You just BKB, jump in with a Shivas. He has a Lincoln's. You can't cast stuff through that, and then he's just healing up every single time Pulse Nova goes.
But with this many BKBs and Pipe, I don't know how much it matters, honestly. They're going to go on him first. There's the Telekinesis, but the Glimmer Cape is there. They dust him, Gush. BKB's popped, and with that, Vici Gaming might be fine with that trade. BKB is down. That is the now it's down to a 6-second BKB for the Lesh.
Oh, here we go.
Looks like they don't
again.
care. They want to go in. Burrow Strike is there. We have 3 heroes blink right in. There's a Burrow Strike.
Oh
A beautiful
my
RP onto 4
God.
heroes. The empowered Moogie is going to town on these heroes, but now he's going to town on his own teammates thanks to that curse. Lanham very low. The majority of Vici Gaming extremely low. The Reaper Scythe comes in as well. Damage all over the place. Ori pops the BKB, attempting to get out. SC extremely low as well, trying to do some more damage before his inevitable death. Only 5 charges on the Bloodstone will buy back into the game. Paparazzi gets double Burrow Strike now. 4 buybacks for Newbee. Vici Gaming extremely low. Do they actually want to continue this? They're going to take out Kaka. It's technically a team buyback. A team buyback as Moogie comes back in. Young 11, they see him thanks to this Sentry. Will they be able to finish him off though? Level 24.
Has Blink.
One more right click, Blinks onto the high ground, onto the actual war. That is not the play. As Fenrir looks to be next on Lens, but they only lose 2. And that is 5 dead and 5 buybacks. Very expensive for Newbee.
And once, I mean, that fight just goes down to Winter Wyvern again. His it was a perfect ultimate from KP.
That was
Literally,
sick.
you can ask for no more. Then he gets the Cold Embrace off on the target, and then ultimate, and it buys him time. And I mean, Winter Wyvern, what a hero. But Moogie, oh, this is huge.
This could
Getting
be
this
big.
4th Roshan.
Yeah, they're going to find Sand King here, Kaka, but I believe the Rosh is going to be dead before Paparazzi can actually go anywhere. Burrow Strike will connect on 2. We'll see if Newbee can actually take him out. Paparazzi pops the BKB and will just destroy the Sand King. Moogie, within rage, attempting to catch up to Paparazzi, gets off the Nullifier. It's there finally, Granga. We've seen it in action, and it rips him apart. 100 seconds on the deck. Young 11. Very tanky. Nobody's really focusing him. Ori, in the meantime, with the BKB pop, only half HP. Moogie gets double Burrow Strike yet again, this time from Lanham. The Necrophos ult comes into play. 134 seconds on the sidelines is the Ursa. And Vici Gaming looking to finish this game as SCCC with 3 freaking C's in his name. Will drop to the deck, but that is the Aegis.
KP has double ulti in 2 seconds.
Uh-oh, that could be pretty big, Ori. Reaper Scythe is up in 5 seconds as this fight continues. There's the RP, like you talked about. Another RP ready to go on to 2. But Young 11's Kraken Shell comes into play, and he'll just run away safely. But the Necrophos ult again! This Aghanim Scepter is doing so much work this game. And the Cold Embrace, somehow Fenrir is still alive. Cold, the curse comes in again. And Leshrac, very little mana, very little HP, pops to BKB, looking to take somebody with them. The Tidehunter will be there, and this Pulse Gnome is doing so much damage, but again, completely out of mana right now. Fenrir, invisible, will find his way to the grave. These fights are ridiculous.
And
I mean, meanwhile, in their base, Greg,
this looks
how are we going to see this game?
They're just going to lose. Oh, wait. I mean,
the aggro. If only you could control these units. Are they actually going to lose the game like this?
They're going to lose. They're going to lose. He's just going to TP in the base. They have 15 seconds on Kaka. Do we have enough damage from Ori, though?
Ori, right-click harder.
Or pardon me, from KP.
Come on.
Bottom line, I mean, he just BKB's good
right,
game.
Called GG. This game was sick. What a sick game.
It just feels like, man, I mean, this game just goes to show how good Winter Wyvern is, right? Like, it's your 5-position first pick hero. He saves you and gets you a 5-man team wipe after a 4-man Magnus ulti. Like, KP played that late game perfectly with that double ulti again at the end.